Okay, let's talk 2026 reading goals. This last year, my overall goal was pages, so I wanted to read 100,000 pages. I've read 72,780. I hate every time you go into Goodreads, your reading goal. How many books do you want to read this year? How many books do you want to read this year? Way of approaching that, however many books I read in January, I take that number and I multiply it by 12. Like an average of how many I think I'm going to do for the rest of the year. And that's just what I do to make it more realistic. I have to do that because I honestly kind of set myself up for failure by doing that. I read the highest number of books in January. I think September were my two highest book reading months. Probably going to do it differently this year. I'm probably going to go by however many books I read this month in December and then multiply it by 12 and then kind of see. Usually I like to set the bar lower and then throughout the year, depending on how I'm doing, I'll raise it. Like last year, I think I set it at 25, and then I raised it to, I think, 125. And then I haven't changed it since August. I hate the whole numbers thing, personally. But anyway, my biggest goal for this next year is just building my bookish community, finding my space and talking more with y'all, engaging more with y'all, scope out bookish community here where I've moved to, engaging with y'all more, building this community more. That's really like my number one biggest goals of this next year. My biggest challenge in this new year is reading my bookshelf, dialing back buying books. There's only really about like 12 really anticipated releases that are coming out this next year. Really just focusing on building a library that I love. We all change and grow as readers, and we're all on our own reading journey. One of my goals is binge reading or marathon reading series. In the middle of so many series, I want to, number one, complete them. I know this last year, the biggest thing I wanted to do was finish the Cosmere and the Realm of the Elderlings. I'm still in the middle of both of those series, and I also want to start doing reading vlogs of me binging and marathon reading those series. That's going to be kind of a shift in that direction as far as like content wise. Another really big thing that I want to start doing is reading more classics, more literary fiction. Number one top genre 2 years since I've been tracking my reading is predominantly fantasy. Like 200 of the books that I've read have been fantasy. Really want to try and dive in some more classics, literary fiction, and just diversifying my reads. Like that was one of the biggest things that I did this last year was reading more diversely and diversifying my genres, and it helped me so much. I continue to read like more BIPOC authors, more like marginalized authors, continuing genre bending, reading with more intention and purpose, more of what I want to read. Like continuing off of reading my bookshelf, I bought all of these books with a purpose. I want to read them. I took the time and I went through Goodreads account, which is the one that I've had the longest for book tracking, and I went through and I saw the books that I've had on there for the longest. So I made a list of the ones that have been on there for the longest, and the longest book I've had on my TBR is actually A Song of Achilles. Back to like reading what I want, reading for my enjoyment. And like I said, there's really only about 12 books in 2026 that I really am excited about. I think one of the biggest reasons why I have is because it's like I want to experience these books with y'all. And so that's why like the hype is hard. Experience these books with y'all, like we're all excited for them. Whenever it falls flat for me, I feel like I'm not getting the same experience, and it hurts and sucks. Through this year, I started using this book journal. This is from Black Rose Creative, like a place for me to do reviews on there. This is what I've been using for my reviews. For me, is really helpful for romantasy and romance books, this star breakdown. So spice, plot, banter, thrill, characters, world building, ending. How many stars, and then you would add all that up and give it like an average star rating. My overall just like 2026 reading goals going into this next year. What are some of your 2026 reading goals, life goals, anything goals?